Okay, just a quick, well, I don't know if it's going to be quick or not. Let me not lie about that. First of all, video. Someone asked me a question. Who are you? I'm looking like, I'm Kia. Keya. That's who I am. And she said, no, who are you? Well, I value my privacy. Very, very much so. That I never let the right hand know what the left is doing. Okay. But I'm going to do this one anyway and tell you who I am. I am the oldest child of my mother's kids and my father's. So I had to carry the burden of the oldest child. My mom had two kids. My dad had two kids. Both sides had girls. Okay. And I was that kid that would always run into the brick wall. My family was truly, truly, truly dysfunctional. My mom and I were always at it, always, always at it, always at it. And I did say dysfunctional, yeah. Okay, well, I think you get the gist on that. But growing up, I didn't understand my mom, and my mom didn't quite understand me. We moved a lot, stayed with my grandmother a lot. Um, there was just a lot of head butting between my mom and I. And it wasn't until I got older that I finally figured out that my mom is a manipulator. If you do what she wants you to do, then you're in her good graces. If you don't, it's war. And it was like, okay, well, me being a child, young child, I'm like, okay, I just want to go out and, do some things with my friends. And I wanted to be a regular child, a regular kid. And we were, well, we still are a Christian household. So, but back then, my mom was super, super strict. Couldn't go, and do a lot of things that the average child would do, sit in the seat of the scoring for and everything else. So my grandmother really, really pampered me, my mom's mom. And I got just about, what I wanted out of her. And it wasn't until later on in life that I sat down with my sister and we started talking about and comparing notes. Now, we grew up in the same household, but our perspectives on our upbringing is totally different. And I'm looking like, what did you come up with that, that analogy? And she was like, well, this, that, and the other. Mom was a great mom. And I'm looking like, were you not there with me, when we were fighting and she was talking all these, saying nasty stuff and just mean and hateful stuff to really stick the dagger in you and turn it and try to murder you for real type stuff. I hate you. I wish you were never born. I should have did this, should have did that. And it's like, well, wow, So, and then she made reference to my grandmother, my grandmother being, mean and nasty. Said my grandmother called her, a whore. And this is my sister. My sister's 3 years younger than me. And I'm looking like, Grandma would never do that. Grandma she loved everybody. Well, she loved me, so I figured she loved everybody. So it wasn't until I got older and well, reached adulthood that we finally start comparing notes with other relatives. Well, here's the thing we found out. My grandmother babied every firstborn child of all the kids. Firstborn, you're golden. Everybody else, SOL, SOL. You understand what that means, right? Okay. So, I couldn't believe it. But you know, too many people confirmed it in my family, so it's like, okay, cool. So as I um, uh, reached adulthood, you know, started doing my own little thing and everything else, and started dating. I moved to Georgia, met a guy, the wrong guy, 18 years older than me. And everybody kept saying, oh, you're looking for a father figure. No. And I kept saying that. And everybody, you're looking for a father figure because he's so much older. He sold this, he sold that. I thought he was the greatest guy. I'm like, okay, how can anybody ever leave this guy? This guy was the biggest HOE. And he had a way of smoothing things over so you didn't pay attention to what he was doing, because he would be smoothing you over with this hand, but he'd be over there with some deceitful mess, and then have the person looking at you right in your face, and they'll be like, hi, and you're like, hey, how are you? Anyway, that was a 22-year relationship. I know. Kids later and everything else. So, it wasn't until later on in life that I discovered that how I grew up was not the norm for everybody. I thought it was the norm. It was not. It was very, very abusive. And I don't like to go into it because I do love my mom. I do. I just don't talk to her. Sometimes it's like that. It's for the best for her and me and my children. So, yeah, that's how I grew up. But those hard knocks and those brick walls that I had to ram my head up against gave me tougher skin than the average person. So while the average person is sitting there talking, oh, I'm hurt and abused, I'm sitting there with my dukes up like, what we doing? Who doing this? Who doing that? What we got to do? Until I learned that I don't have to fight every battle with my hands. I fight them here. Here. So, and as time went on, I've come to recognize that there are some people that are equipped for certain things in life. Chaotic moments, all hell breaking loose. I'm your girl for that. Oh, let me get that. I'm your woman for that. Don't want y'all to get confused. But also at the same time,